Borno State has always been one of the most populous states in northeast Nigeria in recent times, having surmounted its peculiar security challenges. The state has been in the spotlight when it comes to infrastructural and human development, as Professor Babagana Zulum's restoration mission remains in top gear. Welcome to Borno Restoration. I'm Jessie Tafida, but first, let's bring you up to speed with Borno today. Gathered in this hall are government officials, civil servants and party stalwarts. They are here to witness the inauguration of newly appointed State Executive Council, who will help run the affairs of the Zulum-led administration. With Quran hanged around their shoulders, the new commissioners took out of office, registering their acceptance and commitment to serve the people of the state. The state governor, Babagana Zulum, urged the newly executive council to be dedicated and ensure effective supervision of their subordinates.
And therefore urge the Honorable Commissioner to be punctual at all times. This time around, a very serious one, so that your subordinates will emulate you for avoidance of doubt. Your reporting time to office is 8 a.m. Closing time is 4 p.m., except Fridays when the closing time is 12 p.m. I hope and pray that you will bring your wealth of experience to bear on your new assignment towards restoring the lost glory of our state.
Babagana Zulum also took time to explain part of his administration reform to include the conduct of promotion examination for civil servants, which will commence in October this year. This, according to him, will enhance the professionalism and performance of the civil service to effectively drive the recovery process of the state government.
It's high time we have to start implementing daily reforms, especially on promotion. Henceforth, from today onward, inshallah, people of Borno State will witness a very functional secretariat. Looking forward to an excellent working relationship with you all.
We say a very big thank you, and we are not going to let you down, inshallah. We have listened to your inaugural speech with rapt attention. We just have no any other option but to ensure compliance with the directives given. Inshallah, we are going to see results.
Governor Babagana Zulum assured to settle outstanding demands of civil servants, which include promotion benefits, annual increments and leave grants. In Borno State, agriculture contributes up to 65% of the state gross domestic product. And with about 56,000 farmers internally displaced, who will have cultivated 95,000 metric tons of food yearly, the state has lost over 500,000 metric tons of food since 2015. But as peace gradually returns, the state government is rising up to the task of assisting farmers with farming input so as to enable them go back to their farmlands. The state governor, Babagana Zulum, is in Benishek, headquarters of Kaga local government, to distribute farming input to over 3,000 farmers. The governor attributed the deficit in the state agricultural sectors not to only insurgency, but also the COVID-19 pandemic.
The pandemic has affected the entire food system. The restriction on movements hindered food-related logistic services, disrupted entire food supply chains, and affected the availability of food. Impact on the movement of agricultural labor and supply of inputs posed critical challenges to food production, thus jeopardizing food security for all and hit especially hard the rural farmers. The Borno State government under my leadership sought to collaborate with the World Bank-assisted COVID-19 Action Recovery and Economic Stimulus Program, known as NCARES, to save our people and help recover from the effects of the pandemic through increasing cash transfers and livelihood support to poor and vulnerable households.
Most of the agricultural activities were seriously challenged. Your Excellency, thank you for this gesture.
Beneficiaries are urged to make use of the seedlings efficiently for a robust agricultural produce.
This agricultural support will directly benefit 16,763 farmers and indirectly 2,514 450 across the state, and this, you will agree with me, will in no small measure help recover our people from the shocks of the COVID-19 pandemic to our farmers in the state.
Items distributed to the farmers include cowpea seedlings, tractor, and cash assistance. In July 2009, which has taken security as the most critical part of its developmental agenda. From the first day in office in 2019, Professor Babagana Zulum hit the ground running with robust engagement with the military and other security agencies. He continued to lend unending support to the military in the areas of logistics, excavation trenches, and payment of allowances to officers on battlefield. In early 2020, Governor Zulum released 70 new surveillance vehicles to support the Nigerian Army, police, and volunteers in the Civilian Joint Task Force, JTF, and hunters involved in the war against Boko Haram terrorists in the region. The vehicles were released at the launch of a Rapid Response Squad security outfit to combat crimes in the state. Some of the vehicles are being used by the hunters and civilian JTF for patrol operations on major highways in the state, especially the Maiduguri-Damboa Road. The highway has been reopened since 2020 after 13 months of closure following the gains recorded by the military.
We have started witnessing gradual return of peace to Borno State. Through our prayers, Almighty Allah has answered our prayers, inshallah. But what we shall do, we shall never be reluctant. We shouldn't say that peace has started. We have started witnessing gradual return of peace in Borno State. That would jeopardize our intentions. We shall be committed more than before. That is something which is very important. To this, government of Borno State will partner with the security agencies, the military, the paramilitary, with a view to providing robust security to the people of Borno State better than that of before. Borno State government has procured 3 armored personnel carriers. We are paid for the payment for procurement. And inshallah, in the next 6 months, government of Borno State will procure nothing less than 20 APCs. Furthermore, inshallah, we shall do everything possible to ensure that our main roads were open. We shall open our main roads.
Apart from logistic support, Governor Zulum has continued to render financial support to the families of soldiers who died in the line of duty and officers who sustained injuries. Governor Zulum's passion to see farmers go back to their farmlands after several attacks by terrorists is one of the reasons he has continued to support the agro rangers. The men, who are often volunteer hunters, are recruited by the Nigerian Security and Civil Defense Corps (NSCDC) to give protection to farmers who are now happy to go back to their farmlands.
We are
thankful for the presence of the agro rangers. Before now, we couldn't go anywhere, but now we can go to our farms. Since 2019, Professor Zulum has been engaging the services of thousands of hunters from different parts of the state to join volunteers in the civilian JTF and vigilantes. Recently, additional 1,000 hunters were inducted by the governor to join the others in the ongoing war against Boko Haram. The governor also increased the monthly allowances for all the volunteers, provided kits, surveillance tools, and hundreds of vehicles to the units in all the 27 local government areas of the state. The engagement of local hunters have become part of the success story of Borno State. Their active involvement in tackling security challenges in the state cannot be overstated.
So far, so good, so far, so commendable. Because compared to 2014, 2015, as of now, we can say that, the yesteryears is now coming back. If you come to Maiduguri and see in the past, 5 to 6 years to date, there is, marginal improvement.
As the issue of insurgency is not a one-man job, we all have put hand in deck so that we can see the end of this insurgency across not only in Borno State but Northeastern State and Nigeria in general.
Borno, a state grappling with a decade-long insurgency, has continued to show optimism and hope that the restoration mission of Professor Babagana Zulum is unstoppable. Just like the phoenix rises above the ashes, the state is on the verge of reclaiming its lost glory as the home of peace and the pride of the Sahel. Let's bring you the concluding part of our interview with the Special Advisor to Professor Babagana Zulum on Public Relations and Strategy, Issa Gusau. Take a listen. Now, Professor Babagana Zulum has been seen over time taking the lead while reaching the most vulnerable group. He has been seen most times sharing money by himself, relief items. Can you tell us the philosophy behind this?
The number one philosophy is, of course, discharging his responsibility as a governor. Like I said, he has assumed the role of being the chief humanitarian officer of Borno State. So he leads it. He stands with the people shoulder to shoulder to remind them that we are in this together. you are not alone. But one of the major philosophy, in addition to giving support to people who need it, they are entitled to getting that support. Let's get that straight. It's fundamental. As Borno citizens, they have right to be supported by the state government when they are in need. Is a right. Then, but the other philosophy in that is to break a chain of hopelessness. Because when someone feels hopeless, he is prone to crime. When someone loses a father, a mother, somebody is homeless, somebody is hungry, I mean, it's easy for someone to join in insurgents out of frustration, I mean, or maybe to be attracted by some incentives. If somebody realizes that by joining Boko Haram, you will no longer be hungry, or your family will no longer come under the kind of risks that you may have come, you may feel joining insurgents will give you some empowerment, and and then you could be attracted to it. So the philosophy is to make people not to feel hopeless, to the extent that they could find working for Boko Haram attractive, either for monetary gains or for whatever reason. So these are part of it.
The last 2.5 years of Governor Zulum has achieved a lot in the state. What are we expecting from him the rest of his administration?
First of all, you know that we have a 25-year development plan, which was launched by the governor, initiated by the governor and launched. And then within the 25 years, there is 10-year strategic plan. So a lot of what the governor does are contained in that plan. So he follows that plan, both in terms of the budget preparation, in terms of the budget implementation. So he already has a focus, of what he's trying to achieve and what he's already achieving. So the governor intends to consolidate by ensuring that all ongoing projects are completed as soon as possible. Because there some of the projects are massive. That there is the State University Teaching Hospital is ongoing. There are a number of schools, there are roads that are still ongoing. There are some housing projects. So gradually the houses are being completed. So the focus is to consolidate by ensuring that all those houses are completed, and hospitals, schools are not only completed, but they are made functional. Because it's one thing for you to complete hospitals and schools, it's another thing for you to ensure that they are made functional. So the governor plans to recruit a number of doctors, medical health workers, I think about 2,000-3,000 health workers, combining pharmacies, lab technicians, nurses and midwives. He plans to also employ a number of teachers, I think about 1,000 or 2,000. He specified about 20 items that he hopes to achieve in this year, 2022, inshallah. And the man is already achieving them. The taxis and the rest that were launched, they were a part of the things. The roads that were awarded were part of the. And then he talked about completing the State University Teaching Hospital. Is already on course. So basically, these are the things he plans to achieve in the year 2022. So he takes a step at a time. After 2022, inshallah, then I'm sure he's going to have the next focus on what he intends to achieve.
The air is still fresh. What message do you have for the people of Borno?
The governor's message is to first of all express his gratitude once again. Every opportunity Governor Zulum gets, he thanks the people of Borno because he deeply, deeply appreciates the love and the support and prayers that he gets from the people of Borno. If you watch his interview while he was at the villa last week, he said that what keeps him going is seeing the people of Borno praying for him. Every step he takes, he remembers the people, particularly those who are in critical need. These are the kind of things that actually drive and inspire So his message to the people of Borno is to know that he is profoundly grateful to the people of Borno, and he will continue to count on their support. And of course, that more than any other state, Borno has peculiar challenges. There is no state that caters for thousands of civilian JTF, hunters and vigilantes, in the manner Borno has to do, because we have security challenges. We have thousands of vehicles. Now, all these vehicles have to be provided with fuel. They have to be maintained. For them to be on the road, they have to be fueled. Who provides the fuel? It's the state government that provides the fuel. And they work 24/7 because they have to be patrolling from morning till night. And they have problems, they have to be fixed. Because if you don't move them, security is not something that you relax and say, okay, you are not going to do a patrol for 10 minutes or for 1 hour or for 1 day. You have to keep doing it because you have insurgents who are trying to take advantage of the areas that you do not occupy to go and cause havoc. So all of these cost money. So Borno has a challenge that is different from what obtains in all the 36 states, of the country. Of course, I'm not saying there are no challenges in states like Zamfara, Kaduna, but the responses of Borno state government outweighs the responses of other states because our challenges have been with us in the last 12 years. Civilian JTF has been in existence since 2013, and a lot of funding is involved in their allowances, in providing them vehicles with kits and the rest. And it's not as if the numbers decrease. The numbers keep increasing. The number of hunters keep increasing because the idea is to have more of them. Because unless you are able to increase the strength of security personnel, you cannot police a society. For you to be able to provide security to a state of 6 million people, you need to have maybe 1 million security personnel. So you need to continue to mobilize volunteers, to support them, to inspire them, to give them all that they need so that they complement the effort of the security agencies to police the society. And then this costs money. It costs a lot of money. People don't know, even intelligence gathering, it costs a lot of money. If you want people to give information that is very, very important, that could lead to actionable intelligence, it costs money. People don't just give you information because by giving you information, they are taking it. Of course, there is a responsibility in doing that, but there's also a risk because when you give the information, you may not be sure of who might be working with the insurgents. We have had instances in the past where people were killed because they gave information to security agencies, and that has happened in the past. Even though that is not the case now, because the level of fear and apprehension has gone down. You don't have Boko Haram in Maiduguri, so today you can even post on Facebook that Boko Haram members are seen fighting and nobody comes after you. But in the past, I knew when Boko Haram, right before me, they came to Baga Fish Market, and killed somebody who was selling yam. They said he gave information. After killing him, they said, could you do one day labari akamuzamu kashishi? They came and killed that guy in broad daylight that he gave information about them. So many people died by giving information. So information is very sensitive. So you have to make it attractive. You have to give incentives to people. So the governor does a whole lot. The military does a whole lot. And these are not things that you share with the public because they are sensitive. They are sensitive information. So a whole lot is going down. So the governor is very grateful to the people of Borno State. He knows he gets massive support, and this support is what keeps him going.
Special Advisor to the Governor on Public Relations and Strategy, Isabu. So thank you for your time on Borno Restoration.
Thank you so much. Nice to have you.